It's time you and I have a very important talk. Might be an awkward discussion, but it's a very significant one in every person's life. The old birds and ETs. We need to discuss aliens a little more in depth because there's a lot of misinformation floating around about what I believe in when it comes to these beautiful cosmic bastards out there, and, well, I want to set the record straight. All of you know, my dad loves aliens. I'd argue he's one of the biggest alien enthusiasts in this country right now. And he's very passionate about this topic. So am I. I am also very passionate about aliens, but more so because I find a lot of the theories that pop up about aliens visiting us, and here's UFO footage, and it's just like this poorly photoshopped image of two colanders stacked on top of each other, wiggling around in 240p, and it's black and white and just blurry out the wazoo. They're like, no, it's real footage of a UFO flying around. Like, I laugh at that kind of stuff. Or like the alien bodies that keep being discovered. Like the fucking potato alien from 3 days ago, where people were convinced there was an alien in someone's garden because they had this, like, interdimensional cosmic abortion that just plopped into their garden. They're like, look, finally, irrefutable proof to convince all the doubters. We got an alien body. And it just looks like a shriveled up mushroom with nipples on it. Like, that does not look like an alien at all. And you also have to ask yourself the question, if an alien race is advanced enough to reach Earth, it means they've cracked faster than light travel, one, so they're already well beyond our comprehension technologically. How the fuck would they just crash land here and end up in someone's garden? Do they just come to Earth to die? Like, alright, we'll take the space cruiser out. I'm looking for a good place to just die. I'll choose Earth, and this one random person's garden seems like a nice spot. It just doesn't make sense. It's not like it's just going to be some freak accident where they crash into Earth and die, and our weaponry certainly wouldn't be effective against something that technologically advanced if they're able to visit us. It's just illogical. Like, that kind of stuff makes me laugh. So when it comes to aliens, I'm very passionate because the comical nature of it is unmatched, really. But I do still firmly believe there's alien life out there in the universe. It's too big for there not to be, in my opinion. I just firmly don't think they have ever visited Earth. Ever. My dad does not agree. We don't see eye to eye when it comes to aliens. My dad is a firm believer that aliens have not only visited our planet, but helped us evolve and advance, all the way back into ancient times. He is a big proponent of ancient aliens. And while I too am an enjoyer of ancient aliens, it's for an entirely different reason. It's because I think it is very entertaining because of how outlandish it is. Meanwhile, my father subscribes to the belief that ancient aliens is right on the money when it comes to, like, aliens building pyramids and Pumapunku and all of that kind of stuff. So I just want to set the record straight. I believe aliens are out there. I feel like you'd be a fool to think that we're alone in the universe. I just really have seen no compelling evidence that convinces me they've ever visited Earth in any way, shape, or form. But my dad very much disagrees. And he wants to do some kind of, like, panel where he tries to, like, really convince me of it. Like, he wants to put together, like, a video showcase of it, which I've encouraged him to do because I think it'd be amazing. But we haven't done that yet. I also went a little bit deeper on stream about, like, my dad's alien beliefs versus mine, so I'm just going to go ahead and play those clips. I just don't want there to be any more confusion, because I keep seeing people say that I don't believe in aliens or something, or on the other side of the spectrum, people saying that I believe aliens helped us build the pyramids and fucking blessed us with fiber optic internet or something, like all kinds of different things because wires are getting crossed here, because my dad talks about aliens so much, and I talk about my dad talking about aliens so much, and then everything just gets all, you know, confuddled into, like, this, you know, knowledge soup. So I just wanted to make it very clear here. But anyway, here's the stream clips that go a little more in depth. It's kind of already been cracked, but he just doesn't believe the official explanation because my dad, he's like an engineer, and he just really doesn't believe that people back then would be able to make these cuts on these blocks. And that's the thing he harps on a lot. He just really thinks people back then were stupid as fuck. He really does. He thinks not only were they stupid, they just didn't have tools to make cuts on stone. Well, at least cuts like this on stone. The H blocks. So how did they do it? According to my dad, the aliens did it for him. He doesn't have an explanation as to why. He just thinks the aliens came down here and just fucking started carving H on these blocks. He doesn't really have, like, a reason as to why. He just says, well, we can't know, they're smarter than us. And I'm like, damn, that's such an easy cop-out. If aliens did help make it, why the hell would they only use stone and not give early humans advanced metal or something similar? Are they stupid? That's what I said. Like, we're just basically just reliving, like, our arguments that we have back and forth. And they're not arguments, like, they're good-spirited. But, like, I always say, if the aliens did this, why? And he just says, well, we can't know. They're smarter than us. Okay. And then I say, if aliens did this, why are they still using primitive shit? You could have easily made this out of, like, metals or something. And usually what he'll say is the aliens wanted to teach humans how to do it, to help them advance or something along those lines. And I'm like, if they wanted to do that, why didn't they leave any other messages or instructions? And he says they did. It's called the pyramids. They're perfectly aligned with Orion's belt. It's their message to us. And I say, what is that message? He's like, well, we don't know. They're smarter than us. We can't possibly know. And I'm like, well, it's a fucking very ineffective message then, isn't it? I used to watch Ancient Aliens back in the day, bro. The shit they come up with is hilarious. They unironically said the Bible story about Jonah being swallowed by a whale is false. He was actually abducted by an alien submarine. We talked about that yesterday. Yeah, my dad fully disavows 99% of Ancient Aliens, but really believes that they know their shit when it comes to the pyramids. And I guess Puma Punku by extension, because they covered that. They have a whole goddamn episode on, like, Sasquatch being an alien, or dropped off by aliens or something. I already forgot. Have you heard of the Intergalactic Federation? That's kind of part of the secret space program. They're adjacent. But yes, I am familiar. This even got referenced in 2020, if you guys remember this. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. He said, a galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are. So this kind of kicked that whole thing off. What's the most heated alien argument you had with your dad? I don't know. Heated's just not the right word, because it's always comical. Like, we're usually both giggling, but he's very passionate about it. So I guess he kind of gets heated. He'll start, like, really, like, raising his voice about it. He's like, Charlie, I built cars for fucking 50 years. I know engineering. The people back then didn't have the tools or the fucking brain power to build the pyramids. It's simple engineering, son. When are you gonna stop being so stupid? But, like, he's not being mean about it. He's just getting, like, really animated. Speaking of Ancient Aliens, remember that episode where they said giraffes used to have short necks? Blame it on the aliens? Or am I on crack? That sounds like Ancient Aliens. There was even a whole meme for a while that was passed around Reddit where they had Sukalos, who my dad fucking loves. Before I, like, watched more Ancient Aliens outside of the homework he assigned me with the Pyramids episode, my dad was like, Charlie, you gotta look at this guy. His name is Giorgio Tsoukalos. He knows his shit. And then it turns out he's the guy from all the memes where he does this and it just says, aliens. He's that guy. And I felt almost shame. I was like, Dad, no. Not Tsoukalos. This can't be your expert source. It can't be. And sure enough, it was. And Tsoukalos is like the worst offender of just blaming everything on aliens. So in the pyramid episode, I think it was Tsoukalos, there was like a speculation like, this pyramid didn't have a tomb in it. So then why was it the way that it was? And Tsoukalos comes in and said, well, it's because they were communicating directly with aliens in the intergalactic cosmos far, far away. And he's like, well, do you have a source for that? Like, that's quite a leap. Like, how do you know that? Sounds like he's just messing with you. Doesn't sound like he actually believes it. No. No, you couldn't be more wrong. Since I was a child, my dad has been on the aliens and pyramids. I remember being a baby boy, a toddler, and my dad would try and have these profound talks with me where he'd sit me down and be like, listen, son, it might not be this year, it might not be 10 years, it might not be 20 years, but one day, you're gonna see. We're gonna find out that the aliens built those fucking pyramids. We will learn that the aliens helped us advance in our primitive stages. Like, I remember as far back as my brain will allow me that he has always been on that. Since day one. He's committed to the joke. It's not a joke to him, I'll tell you right now. Even tonight he texted me. He's like, so I see you talked about those stupid garden alien potato things or whatever. What did he say again? He say, what's that new alien vid? Bunch of bullshit. You gotta do one about Puma Punku. Love you. That was at 8:23. He is always on alien mode. You know what it is? I talked about this on stream. I'll mention it again. I think what happened is my dad, when he was a teenager, he always like believed that, like, he just really, because my dad is, like I said, he does so much engineering and has his whole life. He just really can't wrap his head around people back then being able to make like sophisticated stuff like pyramids and fucking giant H's, I guess. And I think he probably for a while harbored this belief that it must have been the aliens because it's so advanced, but was probably more open-minded to it, like to being proven wrong, like, hey, no, that's not what happened and here's how they did it, which we have a lot of evidence to support a lot of theories on how these things were made. But what happened, what really cemented him in this way, is my dad's roommate was a U.S. Army lieutenant? No. Major? I think it was a major. I can't remember the order. But he was a pretty high-ranking, like, a person in the military, and he worked at a MacDill Air Force Base, which is a huge Air Force base in Tampa. And they were roommates for the longest time. Even, like, after leaving the military, they remained roommates, remained very close. And he was an alcoholic, unfortunately. Very sad set of circumstances. He was not in a good way. But my dad swears by this story that he was telling the truth. One day, his roommate came back, fucking blasted, per usual, and he told my dad that, that day on the base, they had recovered an alien corpse, and that MacDill Air Force Base had an alien body there. And my dad swears by it, fucking swears by it, that he wasn't being lied to. He was in his right mind enough to reveal that information. Like, he's usually very tight-lipped. This isn't something he would normally do. It probably rattled him to the core. And I think that was the moment the switch was flipped in my dad's brain, where it's like, okay, I'm right. Aliens are here, and they've been here. I think that's what happened. When really, what I think happened is the guy had a lot of mental problems, alcohol abuse, a lot of terrible things, and I think it may have just been associated with that. I don't think they actually had a fucking alien body on the base. You gotta find that guy and see if he was telling the truth. Well, I need a Ouija board for that because he's dead. Yeah, he passed away. So that information is, that's with him now, in the afterlife. The aliens got him. He knew too much. That's probably what it was. Thanks for the gift sub, Couch. What kind of information do you think was lost in the Library of Alexandria? You don't think the Egyptians had sophisticated tools? Well, hey, what the fuck? I have been firmly on the side of the people back then were still very smart, very resourceful, and actually had a very good understanding of, like, tools and all of that. They had the means at their disposal to make these things. Wait, you're barking up the wrong tree. I'm on your side. Thanks to resub, Hubie. But as for the Library of Alexandria, God only knows what information was lost in that. They had Stanleys back then. Yeah, they probably fought wars over Stanley Cups back then. I did more research on Sukalos. Motherfucker unironically said Excalibur was an alien laser weapon. That does sound about par for the course. That's the Giorgio Sukalos I've come to know. Archaeology degree checking in. The thing with Puma Punku is simply we have not found the tools they used. Look up Cyclopean masonry. Ancient Greeks and Romans saw these walls of huge, perfectly fit stones and figured, surely only Cyclops could have built this. 1,000 years later, we figured out what tools they used and decided the OG theory was cringe. Well, from what I recall, and it's been years since I bothered digging into Puma Punku, they actually did find the molds for tools they used to carve out the H-blocks, and the tools, like the molds, what they were making, would be able to make those cuts. So I don't think there's a lot of mystery left to it, from what I remember. You ever wonder if there was a case that we did see actual proof of alien life but just wrote it off as fake because it looked so unbelievable? I don't think anything that the general public has ever seen was alien, like real alien life. But I do think there's probably been, like, maybe something through, like, one of the, like, I don't know, maybe the James Webb Telescope or something that they've seen. It's like, oh, that's, like, actual alien life. That they just haven't published. That's what I think. I don't think there's anything layman like you and I would have seen. Does your dad believe in the Men in Black? If so, what are his thoughts on them? No. The statistics of there not being alien life is unfathomably high. Is unfathomably higher than the statistics of there not being life. The chances of us intersecting is also astronomical. I've said a million times, I firmly, truly believe there's alien life out there. I just don't think it has ever crossed paths with Earth. I really don't think that's happened. Ever. Do you by chance know about the signal that came from space in 1977 that we never really found out where it came from? Oh my god, not the fucking WoW signal again. We're not going down this shit. We're not doing this again. We've already covered the fucking WoW signal. Not again. Next we're gonna get into warp drives or some goofiness. No more. No more. We've barked up that tree plenty. Have you heard of Teotihuacan? It's an ancient city in Mexico that ancient aliens believe is an alien computer. Their proof is that it looks kind of like a circuit board. I'll be the judge of that. I know my way around circuit boards. I'm guessing this one is the most circuit board-esque. Maybe there's a reason why aliens don't visit. Like, what can they do with a bunch of old dinosaurs? Thanks for some spaghetti. There's just so many different ways you can toss around that thought experiment. I just think faster than light travel is probably just not cracked by any life right now, would be my guess. And even if it was, I don't think they would touch us. They just be no reason to. They wouldn't need anything from us. If they have faster than light travel, we can offer them nothing. Except memes. And OnlyFans, I guess, if they don't have that in their world. Search the Teotihuacan alien computer. It shows a comparison with a real circuit board. I didn't need more convincing. I already bought in, but sure. Those bastards. They hid their circuit board in plain sight. And they thought they'd get away with it. They thought they were slick. Don't show this to your dad. I don't think my dad would believe in that one. Though I wonder if I, like, dressed it up well enough. Like, Dad, you know, we may not see eye to eye on all the pyramids and stuff, but what do you think about Teotihuacan alien computers? And he'd probably hit me with question marks and be like, check this out. I saw this today, and it turns out this entire place is a giant alien circuit board. And I bet he'd be like, I told you! I knew it! I'd maybe just need to put it in the right context. Because I feel like if I just came at him like, what do you think of this? He'd be like, it's kind of baloney. But if I let in like, I'm starting to believe it, he'd probably be like, okay, this might be some good shit. You gotta start making up your own conspiracies to convince him. Hire some artists to create some fake images for you. That's just diabolical. That is something I wanted to do on Facebook. I think it was about 5 years ago. And I was getting pretty serious about it. I was drumming up my own conspiracy, and I was going to hire some artists to start putting together like a lot of material for it, and I was going to start spreading fake conspiracies on Facebook for fun. But I ended up not doing it. There are many planets that look like they can support alien life. What do you think they'd look like? Again, insectoid. I said it yesterday. I think they'd look insectoid. Like, I don't think they'd be fuckable. I don't think they'd be hot. I think they'd just look like bugs. Have you heard of Daryl Enka? Not sure if he's crazy or a fraudster, but he claims to be able to communicate with / speak to an alien named Bashar. Bashar, huh? I'm unfamiliar with the cosmic entity known as Bashar, but I'd like to get familiar with them. Messenger of good news. Bashar, how to attract anything into your life by going gamma state. Huh?
Now, many of you are familiar with some of the different frequency states of your brain, and you know that
yeah, 93.3 the hits. Yeah, I know those frequencies.
Different kinds of modalities, different kinds of perspectives.
So this is Bashar talking to us right now, right? I'm guessing. He's in his channeling stance. He's got like the TN tri-beam going with his hand, so I'm assuming this is the alien Bashar speaking to us through Daryl.
Many of you are also not familiar with the idea called the gamma state, which is between...
Did he just fart? Was that Bashar or Daryl that tooted?
Which is between 40 and 100 cycles
Man, just shat
per
himself.
second in your brain.
Cosmically. Quantumly.
In the typical channeling state. And this particular vibration allows you to experience in the neurological net of your brain more cohesiveness, more acceleration, more connection, more synchronization.
A lot of good buzzwords here,
while
Bashar.
also simultaneously allowing certain neural pathways to actually close down. That is the gamma state. Also typically called the channeling.
Reading comments always make, like, this is all well and good. If you want to pretend to channel an alien and just spout a bunch of gobbledygook, all power to you. But it's the comments that actually just make me feel so sad. This resonates with me very much. Bashar says out loud what has been running in my head all along. Thank you for confirming that I am receiving the right information from my higher self. Oh my god, he's been teaching us how to access flow state all this time, which is something I've wanted for a long time. On top of that, he's saying flow state is the key to manifestation. Wow. It's like he's saying to a kid the key to life is to eat cake. Lots and lots of cake. Perhaps maybe I just don't understand the gamma state. Maybe I need to lock into flow state and then I'll be able to dunk on a 10-foot hoop. Perhaps I'm not being receptive to the wisdom of Bashar, the cosmic being. Wait, Danica Patrick has a YouTube channel? And she interviewed Daryl and Bashar? What in the world? What in the world? Bashar predicts humanity's coming great shift in 2024. Prepare yourself now. Bashar Sedana workshop. Oh my god, he goes in front of a class?
Hi everyone. Hi.
Hey.
Someone who's lost in the song, an actor who becomes the part, in essence, is in a channeling state. But in that state, you can also access other portions of your own consciousness. You can access...
Oh, so Bashar lives inside of him.
Portions of information from throughout the universe.
Jekyll and Hyde style.
And make connections with other beings, other dimensions, what have you, depending on
how
you wish to focus the idea of that channel.
He's interdimensionally traveling.
For me, this began... I received what I experienced to be a telepathic connection from Bashar and his people.
Okay.
In that one instant, an actual memory came back of having made an agreement with Bashar to do this before this life.
Okay.
And I understood in that moment that the UFO had been shown to me on purpose to get me to go in the direction I needed to go, so that by the time it was time for me to fulfill that agreement I had made, I would be ready. And
it's almost like the Rocco's Basilisk paradox. Very cool. Daryl, this is incredible stuff. What was the agreement? You'd agree to be his vessel so he could be a motivational speaker on Earth? That seems like a very underwhelming use of this cosmic being's powers. You're telling me that Bashar decides to use his abilities to just tell people to brush their teeth and eat well? And, like, have a positive mindset? That seems like a complete waste. Look at his website and his store. He's written 200 books since the 1980s. 200 books since the 1980s. Jesus Christ, Bashar. You should show your dad this video. My dad doesn't believe in any of this shit. My dad just believes in the aliens building the pyramids. I don't know what to tell you. That's like the one, that's pretty much it. Like, this kind of shit he would absolutely laugh at. He wouldn't text me being like, Charlie, you hear what Bashar said today about our horoscopes? Isn't that some shit? Like, that. My dad doesn't believe in that. Can Bashar take over like Sukuna? I don't think so. I think so. He was describing the channeling state. I think he needs to get into the zone. And if he's not in the zone, I don't think Bashar has like a door to get there. I don't think the alien planet is sending their best. Yeah, maybe Bashar is kind of like a dweeb on his homeworld. But to us, well, not to us. To Daryl, he's super cool.
Bashar is really another entity, or whether it's a portion of my own consciousness or whatever,
Oh.
The altered state is real. The information seems to have the ability to help people do what they need to do to make the kind of changes they need to make in their lives. And for that reason, I figured that's reason enough to go ahead and see where this goes.
I didn't expect that. He's like, oh, so it could be an alien, an interdimensional being, or it could just be some part of my subconscious while I'm conscious. No, I like the channeling community. There was another channeler I used to watch frequently. God, what was his name? He was the one that would channel the Yael. I'll just do that. He was the one that was like, you will send your best and brightest to school this morning. It's a very good day for learning. Blasting at you live from the Yael headquarters. That guy? Who was that? Does anyone remember? No, this isn't the guy. It was an older guy. Yael were very talkative through a bunch of different channelers, but there's one in particular I'm referring to, and I can't remember his name. No, it is him. He made a rap song about them called Bringing in the Yael. Thanks for your sub, Kev. I don't think it is, though. He was much older, unless the Yael de-aged him.
We are of Ashtar Command. We are of the Pleiadians. We are of the Pleiadian civilization. Of the Pleiadian consciousness.
Billionaire Boys Club. Isn't that Kevin Wait, isn't that Kevin Spacey's movie?
Move through these ripples of time-space as your civilization, as your solar system moves into a new era of the galaxy, a new area of the galaxy, and a new era.
We move to a new area of the galaxy?
The idea is that there are time fields, time-space equations.
Wonderful message. It repeated everything I've been seeing in my meditation. In your meditations, you've been seeing that we're changing the area of where we're located in the galaxy. That would cause such an immense change in daily life as we know it. That would be immediately recognizable. That couldn't just happen without us knowing. Oh, here we go. Bringing in the Yael. Music video with footage of Yael ship. Wait, this is huge. He's got footage from inside of their spacecraft?
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael, our family from the stars, on earth they will dwell. Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael.
The kind of music to throw your ass in a circle to.
Bringing in the Yael, bringing in the Yael to get this party popping.
I feel like I've actually heard this before. I think you're right.
Rocking, and you know it's a boat that desperately needs to be rocked. We may all come together, there will go the shadow government. And I know you're thinking retribution, but it'll be different. Let me clear up this confusion. Cause it's gonna be love. We ain't gonna give nothing but kisses and hugs.
Yeah. Kiss and hug them.
And then extension of you. I know it's hard to discard the old ways of war, but see it through. Cause there ain't no ours. We bringing in the Yael.
It actually might be the same guy. I could be misremembering. I thought he was much older. Cause I'm pretty sure I've heard that song. That definitely opened some neural pathways the Yael wanted closed in my brain. Oh, this is a classic. This one's a classic. Teen girl abducted by praying mantis alien. Ancient alien. I've got to send that to my dad. My dad loves ancient aliens. How the fuck? Really, Dad? A girl abducted by a praying mantis alien? Ancient aliens. Aliens in disguise. Warren researcher. We've taken many humans. God damn it. Channeling the ninth dimensional Pleiadian collective. Interview with extra dimensionals. Here we go.
Ah, yes. Hello, dear. This is the Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective, and it is a pleasure and an honor to have the opportunity to connect with you. So,
nice to meet you.
In a short time today, we think we're going to cover a pretty lengthy or a pretty substantial amount of ground. So we're very, very excited. So thank you for the opportunity to connect.
Absolutely. What's very interesting to me is all of these like ninth dimensional beings that are able to be channeled through these goobers are always just on standby. It's like they're waiting to be channeled. They must be like maybe interns of the other ninth dimensional Pleiadian society. Like they just have to sit around like fucking phone operators waiting for some human to channel them. That sounds like so boring. Yeah, just actually channeling a call center. Why does no one ever channel like a really aggressive alien? Or like a really cool one, like, hey, sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm fucking 5 3-titted alien babes. Call back in a moment. and then break connection. Nothing ever like that. It's always like, oh, it's such an honor to be speaking with all of you on Earth. This is a Ninth Dimensional Pleiadian Collective reporting in live. What do you want to know? You need to watch Daryl connect to Bashar. It's hilarious. I just watched Daryl connecting to Bashar. Or does he have like a ritual for it? Alright, he's jacking into the upside down. Assuming athletic stance. Oh, good crack.
Sorry.
No apologies. Do what you need to do to get the aliens on the horn. Oh! Picked up a bad frequency there. Oh shit! We're losing him! He's going too deep! Bashar, let this man go! Where's the holy water? That actually sounds like Darth Vader's mask. Holy shit. What cool noises. Now, if he actually starts levitating, then I'll be impressed. No!
Well, I'll say good day to you this day of your time.
Hey!
How are you all?
Don't yell at me, Bashar. What the fuck, man?
All right, I will take that as an okay.
Does he have an accent?
First of all, we would like to thank each and every one of you individually, and all of you together collectively.
I love how he put on an accent for Bashar this time, but then later on he got rid of it. He's like, I don't want to do that anymore. Bashar just lost his accent, his dialect. He outgrew. The old Yell guy you were thinking of is Sean Swanson. Is it? Hey, it's my boy. I think this is him, right? Yeah.
And the idea of, from your perspective, not of Earth, but human beings.
Yeah.
In
See,
that
I knew
sense,
it.
Very
I knew it.
similar in appearance to that then that you are familiar with Earth humans in your planet. We then are of another planetary location, and in that we actually have an origination of more.
Why do the Yael talk like that? I recently got into a massive argument with my own chat about aliens visiting Earth, which is a crazy war to have fought. You know, it was a bloody battle. I'm sure most of you know, because I've talked about it before, my dad is super into aliens. He firmly believes they've helped us build the pyramids, given us fiber optic internet. You know, I'm surprised he hasn't started talking about aliens, how they farted 5G onto our planet or something. Like, he's big into the aliens thing and always has been since I was a kid, so I've been inundated with all kinds of alien stuff ever since I was young. So I have loved the field, but I have never been a believer that aliens have ever visited this planet, ever. I do think there is life outside of our planet, obviously, in the massive, unfathomably huge scope of the universe. I think it's unlikely there's no other life out there, but I don't think it's ever visited us. It would have to have somehow found fast and light travel, wormhole, something, which is so far above our comprehension that if they did actually do it, we wouldn't have even been able to process them visiting us, I imagine. Like, it is just so well beyond us that I just don't think it's happened. So I have been firmly against the idea that aliens have visited us, but I've always been open-minded in wanting it to be true. I would love to be able to fist bump my dad, be like, hey, Pops, you were right. And here's proof of the aliens having visited us. I did a keg stand with one of them at my frat brother's last party. Like, that'd be great, you know? But I've just never seen any compelling evidence about it. And we got to talking about it on stream, and a couple of chatters were very adamant that I was out of, off my gourd for not believing every single abduction story ever told and every single sighting ever made, including the recent Las Vegas one, which was confirmed to just be casino lights reflected in the fucking sky, but they're writing that off as it was like a cover-up for aliens. Like, it's outrageous. In order to convert me to their side, to believe in them, to persuade me, they would tell like these anecdotes, like, I read this story once on these forums where, you know, this guy's friend Eric was playing basketball in his driveway one evening, and then all of a sudden everything went white and his memory was erased, but he had his butthole prolapse. Like, the anal prolapse is signs of the aliens having experimented on him, and he lost 6 hours of memories. How is that proof? Why am I supposed to take that at face value? But they would drop these things like the Eric butthole incident and have me look it up and be like, how can you not believe us? This is ridiculous. You're spitting in the face of real proof. So I was losing my goddamn mind having this argument with them, and eventually we ended up going to something called like the Ariel School incident, which is a school in Zimbabwe which claims to have been visited by aliens, where 62 school children drew in crayon their encounter with a UFO and aliens who warned them about the future. And I got called crazy for doubting the legitimacy of it, because you have 62 school students that drew very different crayon drawings that don't agree with one another. Some of the drawings have them coming down in a goddamn space potato, others have like this elaborate, huge UFO, very generic, and then the aliens, they can't even agree on what they looked like. Some claim that they had long black hair, so literally fucking looking like me coming out of the spaceship. Some of them drew the aliens bald, like very generic alien baldness. Like, none of the kids' drawings even, like, agree with others. Like, it's such weak evidence, but they're using it as fact. Like, how could anyone doubt us when this exists? So, I'm just gonna show you some of the clips from the stream, because it got heated. And then we opened Pandora's box and started talking about warp drives for some reason. It got off the rails. It got a little crazy, so I just wanted to show some of that. But I want to make it clear, I would love if there was real compelling evidence of aliens having visited us. Like, actual encounters with aliens, that'd be great. And there have been government-released documents and footage from pilots and shit from unidentified flying aircrafts, this unidentified air phenomenon, but none of it's, like, aliens, per se. It's just we don't fully understand exactly how it works, so it's unidentified as of the moment. It's never definitive proof of aliens being here. It's just we don't have a full explanation on it yet. But it could be. Yeah, it could be. And I find that stuff to be pretty interesting. But I don't view that as, hey, here's proof that extraterrestrials are here for some reason. But anyway, let me just show you how the stream went. A leading UFO expert has investigated dozens of sightings over an impressive 45-year career and says aliens don't come in peace and have an agenda. I wonder what the agenda is. They come down here just to read our dank memes, shitpost on Twitter. I wouldn't say they're peaceful due to the thousands of UFO abductions worldwide. I woke up and my ass is sore. Damn you, aliens! Not again! I've been a big fan of aliens shit, UFO investigative shit for a long time. I have never once read, watched, or listened to a compelling abduction story that made me be like, this man actually he got abducted. At no point did I ever once even remotely come close to believing any of the abduction stories. Have you seen that documentary about a guy with 9 alien kids? What is that? What are we talking? What? No, I can't say I've seen that. What the fuck does that? He has 9 kids with extraterrestrials? This man's spreading the humanity seed throughout the cosmos? There were 30+ kids who saw aliens at their school and drew them. If there is one group that I trust more than anyone, it's kids. They're notorious for not having an imagination and not just going with what everyone else is doing. That's what I would hinge my alien evidence on, is children's drawings. Being in all black, possibly showing medium-long black hair. Were the aliens just clones of me or something? What do you mean? The aliens have normal human hair? Well, there's no hair here. One of them was bald, I guess. Maybe he got made fun of on the ship. Not only would the beings have to have somehow discovered faster-than-light travel to make it here, it would have somehow had to elude everyone else's gaze and have only a couple people, in this case 62 school children, see them. Like, the amount of crazy coincidence that must all occur for only a small group to see that is very unlikely. I'm ready to... There is nobody on the planet that wants alien encounters to be real more than me. If this has compelling evidence, I would be elated. I would love that. I want to believe. But it is so unbelievably unlikely, and all of the evidence is so shit, that it's impossible, in good conscience, to believe that there are aliens that visit us periodically. The circumstances for such a thing to be true are very, 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 very low possibility. So for multiple days, there have been headlines of UFOs hovering over the skies of Zimbabwe. And the only evidence we have is some children's drawings. Surely that would be major fucking news. And also, why would the aliens just be hovering over Zimbabwe? What are they doing there? They're just hovering there, doing nothing. Standing there menacingly like the hash-slinging slasher. What would be the purpose? Why would they have come there? Let's go down this for a minute. So the aliens came here to warn us about the future. And the optimal way of warning us was to go to a small school in Zimbabwe and tell a group of children. That was the best way of delivering this warning of the future? They were talking about COVID. Imagine this is all very true. The aliens actually did just fucking boot, scoot, and boogie all the way down to Earth just to land here and be like, hey, there's this little thing called COVID. I'm letting you know it's right around the corner. No good. No good. Alright, good luck with that. We're out. We've done our job. Message delivered. I don't think they were visited by aliens warning us about the future. Let's play with that for just a moment. Going back to that. Not only were they intergalactic travelers, they're fucking time travelers, warning us about our future. That's another crazy technological leap. And if they're that smart, that advanced, why would they tell a group of children at a small school? And also, why would they ever even make direct contact with people? They could just transmit the message. There's millions of cases. So what you've just shown to me is you believe what everyone says. You don't believe anyone's making things up. You don't believe in people having, for example, a sleep terror, which a lot of it boils down to sleep paralysis, where they have these very real feelings at night, where they're half asleep, half dreaming, and a lot of it gets chalked up to sleep paralysis. So you don't believe in any of that. You don't believe in mass hysteria, I would imagine then. You don't believe in manifested group thinking, where if someone believes they saw something, other people mysteriously start to have memories or visions of the same thing. You just take everything at face value, and no one's ever lying. Oh wow, Jesus, you're having a full meltdown. Anal probing isn't even a real thing, you moron. You get all your UFO info from fucking movies and TV. You get all of your UFO info from fucking TV too! What do you mean? All of your sightings are on TV! What are you fucking talking about? And then you said reptilians are part of the aliens. And faster than light is an outdated theory. Warp drives are proven. You're misinformed. What are you... What? Are you having an episode of psychosis? Jack Sarfati talks about the technology behind warp drives. Who mentioned fucking warp drives? I don't know why you're harping on that subject. That word had not left my mouth until I read your comment history of your 86 message meltdown. I'm not talking about fucking warp drives! Why do I need to do research on warp drives? That goddamn name didn't leave my mouth. He brought it up. But warp drives are an important part of alien lore. Maybe, but I wasn't talking about fucking warp drives. Jesus Christ. You asked for answers. On what? Warp drive? When did I ask for answers on warp drive? I want alien evidence. What the fuck are you talking about? Who am I talking? That is evidence? So, let's assume every alien has their own warp drive motorcycle. Why are they visiting trailer parks and fucking small schools to warn us about the future than only telling children? That isn't an answer. You weirdo! That chatter didn't read jack shit. It's theoretical physicist, meaning it hasn't been put into effect and there's no way to test any theories. I don't care about warp drives if they're real or not. God damn it. Jesus fucking Christ. On r/UFO, a UAP filmed with good quality in slow-mo at the Miami Air and Sea Show. 3 videos from different angles. Ran the enhanced version of the spinning Miami UAP. What the fuck did... This? Bro, if that is an alien spacecraft, they have got to be the most dizzy species in the galaxy. Holy shit, if that's how they, like, traverse the cosmos. It's like a laundry machine. Like a washer. It looks more like a big hat being taken away by a strong gust of wind. That's a frisbee in slow-mo. No, it more looks like it's something like a septic tank or something that fell out of an airplane and they reversed the footage. So after it hit the water, they just reverse the footage and they just have it tumbling. Like that, I feel like I'm just watching something in reverse like that. My theory on why a super advanced extraterrestrial species might have become interested in nuclear materials in the 1940s. What? If they can visit our planet, surely they wouldn't care about nuclear materials. They would have literally cracked faster than light travel to get here. Why would they care about nuclear material? I just want to see this UAP again. If this case is genuine, after watching the film, I'm 90% convinced that there is no other plausible explanation, and perhaps abduction's claims are also true. From this? Bro, if this is accurate, if there are tiny little aliens in there, I no longer have anything to fear from them. Because they will not even be able to... They'll be walking around like they're fucking drunk. If this is how they travel. Literally blasting against the sides of a small metallic object. They're just getting pinballed in there. You don't know how they work? True, I guess they could be like gyroscopic. Everything's tumbling around them, but they're perfectly still. In that case, why have everything tumble, though? Oh, even they're making fun of it. Okay, so maybe they don't actually believe it. That might be sarcasm. I didn't think it was a bird until I saw this filtered video. The white looks like wings flapping up and down to me, with reverse colors due to one of the filters. I actually didn't even consider a bird. It looks metallic. It really looks like a piece of something that just fell off and got taken by wind. I think he's absolutely right, though. Hold on. Looking at it again, it does look like these are wings. Yep, that might just actually be a bird. Analysis here. What in the fuck is... What is this? Oh. Alright, so the majority of these are just talking about how it's likely a bird, but then there's some that are doing deep Zodiac Killer level analysis on it. I don't understand, though. Where are the other angles that you were talking about? Oh, here we go, here we go. What the fuck? That actually looks like a ball that just gets taken up. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's not a bird? I don't know. What a weird, goofy thing. It's a fucking beach ball. Maybe? I don't know. If this is like the speed of it, though, what kind of bird can go that fast, like, upwards? Thanks to Maya, I learned hawks can dive at like 300 miles per hour, so if it was going down, I'd believe it's a hawk. But this is going up, right? Is this a spaceship made out of spider webs? What the fuck is that? Okay, so this is clearly not the same event. It looks like a badminton shuttlecock. So this isn't even the same event, and it's still here.
Flintstone in Springfield, Missouri. That is a cube spinning on an axis. Flickering. It's got lights around it.
A cube?
In the middle of the day.
What? I guess he can see it better than I can. Shit looks like the golden snitch. These are the smallest aliens ever. I don't think it's aliens, though. That would be wild if... I would love if it was aliens, though. That would be great. It's fucking balloons. There's probably some experiment. Bro, I don't think this is an experiment. I think this is something very simple, like a really simple explanation. I don't think it's an experiment. I don't think it's aliens. I think it's probably something very easily explained that got taken by strong winds here. Like, I mean, if we want to go like full fantasy or sci-fi here, I guess there is a multiverse out there where this is a small alien surveillance drone. I guess. Explain that now. What, the triangle? Are you talking about this? Alright, let's put on our thinking caps for a moment. Why would aliens visit this planet covertly while also having 4 giant lights and a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer blinking on it? This is absolutely just a normal drone. Okay, but what if it wasn't? There would be no one happier with the confirmation of a real alien visitation than me. I want these to be real. I want to make that clear. It would make me extremely happy. Since I was an actual infant, my dad has been telling me for years, aliens have visited our planet and we're gonna see them one day. I would love that. My dad and I would talk for hours about it. But I don't think the triangle or the tiny little ball bearing that gets taken into the sky here is those aliens. I guess it could be D.B. Cooper's spacecraft too, yeah. I guess you never really know.
Right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
You're scaring him.
Yeah, it just flashed. I'm lasering at him.
God, they're gonna blow up our fucking planet. Stop pranking him. Stephen Greer has an app called CE5 Contact that teaches you how to perform a seance and summon UFOs. In the documentary Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind, you can supposedly see it working. I might need to learn that seance. Ever had a personal alien/UFO encounter? No, but if you ask that question to my dad, he's going to tell you the same story he tells everyone else anytime it gets brought up. My dad is convinced that one time he and I saw a UFO together. We were on a lake, and there was a big, bright light in the sky. I don't remember exactly like how bright or anything like that, but I remember it being like a big, bright light in the sky. And my dad and I looked at each other, and he pointed at it, and I was like, "Hey, I see it." And then when we looked back, it was gone. And my dad is convinced that that was legitimate aliens that were watching us. I don't think it was the sun because it was past sundown, but at this point it's been so long that it might have just been the sun. I don't know. If I had to guess, it was probably just like an actual like plane that was moving fast and low. Because it was sundown, so you could definitely see plane lights in the sky, but it was lower than you would expect. But I'm guessing it was probably a plane. Especially since that lake was near an airport anyway. Why do you refuse to believe the truth? I just don't think that was aliens. Like, why would the aliens fly a goddamn spotlight to our planet? Why would they come here in a giant disco ball ship that's super bright over a lake? Why would they do that? That makes no sense. We would do a lot of mundane shit too if we invade another planet like aliens did. I just don't think so. I think if we found life on another planet, we'd first try to covertly study it. Like if we found them and they didn't know we were there, we would absolutely try our absolute utmost to not disturb them or alert them to our presence. 100%. And then we'd try and conquer them. Once we learned whether or not we were technologically advanced more than they are. Like, it wouldn't make any sense to immediately go to the planet and try and host, like, a rave. Like, I don't think we would fly to a distant planet, another solar system, and bring, you know, like, Deadmau5 out and the whole crew to, like, party on the planet right away. We'd, like, ease into it. While most of you were sleeping soundly in your beds, having wet dreams, I was up tossing and turning all night, just eagerly waiting, like a kid on Christmas morning, for what the Pope was about to say in regards to aliens. If you're confused by that statement, it shows me that you're already so naive and it makes me sick. You're living in the dark. The deep state's controlling your mind and it's time you break free. And let me be the guiding light to get you there. The Vatican had scheduled a live stream where they were going to go over supernatural phenomenon and even aliens themselves, potentially, according to many headlines. The live stream was slated for this morning, and as of 2 hours ago, that live stream happened. I don't want to get into spoilers, but this was universe-shattering shit. Let me first lay down the groundwork for the lore about what the live stream was supposed to pertain to, then I'll give you the debriefing on what happened. Here, the Pope is going to be holding a live press conference tomorrow to talk about aliens. We live in the golden age of aliens right now. The Pope is talking about aliens? Pope set to hold press conference on aliens and supernatural. This is what I'm talking about! It's about time! Let's see what the Pope had to say about the aliens. Okay, never mind. The Pope is demanding that I pay the sun. What is this? This is so ridiculous. A word from Larry Kudlow, and that word is go fuck yourself, I guess. I hate modern journalists. I'm not paying just for access to a fucking article that you probably lifted from the tweets anyway. It's a radio station. That's what it seems like. 99.9. The Pope station. This one's tuned directly into God. Did you hear Jesus is going to be making a guest appearance at the Pope's press conference? Can you imagine that lineup? This would be like Coachella, but for religion. The Pope, Jesus, aliens, all we need next is Job. That'd be a wild lineup. They would go so hard. The Vatican is scheduled to release documents pertaining to the supernatural and other phenomena, and others are suggesting even about aliens. What's going to happen? According to the National Catholic Reporter, documents will be released that were prepared by 3 investigators. The document is set to explain the new norms considered by the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith about such issues. They have 3 Vatican investigators? Who are they? Is it like Russell Crowe from The Exorcist? Was that more of like a documentary than anything? What is this? The dicastery for the doctrine of faith. This is... I'm very new here. Here's the Holy Father tab. Okay. The last time a report like this was released was in 1978. The Vatican has now prepared papers that share the Pope and the Church's guidelines when it comes to things like apparitions and supernatural phenomena. Social media sites, blogs, and others interested in the discovery of the possibility of the existence of aliens and the proof thereof have been buzzing on different platforms, speculating about what will be put forth in the papers. A few media outlets are hinting that there would be something earth-shattering at the news conference, but that doesn't seem like the case. Tomorrow's press conference will be live-streamed, and the press conference will be led by Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, who will speak about the Church's view on various items like apparitions and supernatural phenomena. In addition, the doctrine does comment on the Church's view about faith concerning aliens. Why? It's an easy explanation. According to the National Catholic Reporter, it is being done so after a surge in reporting of aliens and supernatural phenomena from the mainstream media. Okay, so this just sounds like they're going to say, like, yeah, if there are aliens, they're, like, totally Catholic. Like, we're, like, completely fine with that. It doesn't seem like they're putting forth their own evidence of their existence, more so about their perspective on aliens versus the faith. That's a lot less hype than I was expecting. I thought the Pope was going to come out there with, like, a fucking alien head, slap it on the desk, and be like, yep, here they are. And this is the proof. I'll watch the live stream, but I'm not expecting anything earth-shattering here from the Pope press conference. What time is it? I'll set an alarm so I can be there right on time so I don't miss anything. 12 p.m. Like Eastern? 12 p.m. what? Central? 12 p.m. Pope time? Like, I don't... What does he operate on? Okay, not even the Reddit's all that pumped. Yeah, I'm not expecting much, so I guess we'll see. I'd love to be pleasantly surprised. The Pope podcast about aliens? Well, it's more than a podcast. He's going full-blown live stream. I don't know if it's on Kick, Rumble, or maybe they have their own dedicated service. Do you think the Pope will talk about the Kendrick versus Drake beef? I know we gathered you all here about, like, supernatural apparitions, aliens, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Chupacabra, gnomes, goblins, whatever, but let's talk about the Kendrick versus Drake beef for a second, huh? Isn't that shit crazy? Well, aliens are definitely real. 100%. There's aliens out there. I think you'd be a fool to think we're alone in the universe. I just know that they're not here, and I don't think they ever have been. Maybe, like, aliens scanned us at one point. I think maybe that has, like, a slim chance. They got us with, like, a fucking UAV after a 3-kill streak somewhere in the cosmos. But other than that, nah, I highly fucking doubt aliens have ever been here. People always misconstrue my stance on aliens. I 100% believe... It's more than a belief. I know aliens are out there. I just really am... I also know they haven't been here. I don't really feel like reading all this. Why in the fuck would aliens be traveling across the galaxy in the golden snitch from Harry Potter? Like, this looks like a Christmas bell. Like, what is this needle? Like, this is... I mean, this is like steampunk almost. You can't be serious. There's no way. Well, can't argue with that. The Vatican Alien E3 showcase has concluded. It was about 2 hours long, and I have no fucking idea what they were saying. There's no subtitles that were available for it, so I had to wait for it to be translated by others so it could be fed to me, baby birded, just vomited into my mouth about what was discussed. And the answer couldn't have been more underwhelming. This was like the Willy Wonka experience, but for adults. It's so fucking lame. Basically, they just came out with these set of rules and guidelines that would help people avoid being the victim of scams and hoaxes. So, since alien sightings and UAPs and all types of supernatural phenomena are being reported so frequently, and a lot of times, well, every single time pretty much, it's all from bad actors fraudulently just using this as a way of making money off it or generating headlines, the Vatican decided to come forward and tighten its grip, just get like this titty twister on it, and let people know, from now on, only a pope rather than local bishops can declare apparitions and revelations to be supernatural. So that's a pretty vague term, that's kind of all-encompassing, so if you see like a light in the sky that you can't quite explain, you can now no longer write it off as aliens or try and portray it as something other than, well, that was a weird light, until a pope comes forward and says, yep, that shit was freaky. That one's going in the alien logbook, son. So, from now on, only a pope has the power to declare something as supernatural. And this is basically just patch notes to their previous guidelines issued in 1978. And the reason they did this is to crack down on people falling victim to bullshit baloney. So, as mentioned here, some cases of supernatural phenomena were exploited for profit, power, and personal interest, or even a pretext for exerting control over people or carrying out abuse. There's a quote here that says, "The possibility of believers being misled by an event that is attributed to a divine initiative but is merely the product of someone's imagination, desire for novelty, tendency to fabricate falsehoods, or inclination towards lying." So overall, this press conference was about announcing these new rules which aim to streamline the process of declaring something truly supernatural, so that way people can avoid being scammed as frequently as they have been. So for everyone like me who wanted this press conference to have like eye-opening new information about aliens or anything supernatural, we were left high and dry, dick in hand, with nothing to eat here. This breakfast that they served up was a fucking nothing omelet, unfortunately. I mean, it's cool that they're doing something to try and crack down on people using supernatural sightings to exploit people. Like, yeah, that's obviously a good thing to try and, you know, tighten the screws on. But damn, the way that the media hyped this up really had me and many others believing that this might be something big. Like, the Pope comes forward, like, you know, pyrotechnics are going off, smoke shooting, they start playing the Undertaker WWE walkout music, and the Pope approaches the mic, flips down a pair of sunglasses and says, "We're not alone." But that's not what we got from the live stream. Maybe one day, I guess we'll see. But yeah, that's the most recent alien update in the world. I keep my finger on the pulse of anything extraterrestrial, so yeah, anyway, that's about it. See ya.